Ridge. The most imminent threat has been and continues to be that fire crossing the Bear Hole Lake Road. Fortunately, that has not happened yet. The conditions that we expected, including high winds from the east, so pushing that fire west, along with the dryness of the fuels and the high temperatures, we were kind of expecting that fire to grow earlier in the day, but those conditions have not materialized and we haven't seen the fire cross that road. That fire did cross the Highway 52 north of Tumbler Ridge. And so we are quite optimistic that the crew will be able to contain that slop over area. But otherwise, in terms of highways, the Highway 52 is closed both east of Tumbler Ridge and north of Tumbler Ridge. If that fire crosses the Bear Hole Lake, it will likely make its way upslope towards the community of Tumbler Ridge. Unfortunately, we are still seeing those easterly winds pushing that fire west. It is possible, and we are hopeful, that a wind shift tomorrow will switch the direction of that fire growth towards the east. However, since this fire started, we have seen extreme fire behavior, incredibly intense, not only for this time of year, but just in general. We're seeing this fire growing with the wind, but also against the wind. So it's a backing fire as well. It's essentially been growing on all flanks and on the head of the fire and the rear of the fire. So incredibly volatile, in fuel types being primarily burning in black spruce. So once those stands ignite, the fire moves very quickly through that fuel type that's very susceptible to ignition. So like I said, that Bear Hole Lake Road is the primary area of concern, and that's where we have ground crews focusing. We also have upwards of 60 structure protection personnel and more are arriving in town throughout the day and will continue to do so in coming days, along with additional BC Wildfire Service unit crews, aircraft as they become available as well, and they will continue to work in that priority area. At the moment, certainly the intensity of fire behavior is not currently what we expected to see at this point, but that doesn't mean that it won't materialize later in the day as the winds do pick up and as we kind of reach that peak heat of the day. So that's what we're really focusing on right now is establishing structure protection equipment in the community of Tumbler Ridge and having crews on the ground in areas that are safe to access. Unfortunately, with the challenging fire conditions that we've seen, we haven't been able to employ direct attack strategies that we would otherwise generally use in situations like under normal conditions, just due to the volatility. It's been challenging and ineffective to kind of, and ultimately unsafe to have crews on the ground at the head of this fire due to the intensity. But overall, certainly not in the clear at this point, but we are kind of leaning towards a little bit of cautious optimism. Hopefully that wind will shift earlier than it is forecast to, but in the meantime, the area of concern continues to be the community of Tumbler Ridge.